Rosen, Louis Johnson, Mark Cotton. The theory commentaries you have this lady.
They don't know that my heart is trying to scream and shout, cause they don't ever wanna listen.
It's a bit of a fun day today. Go show.
Breaking me down, but my heart is broken enough to know that they never wanna fix it.
Right, okay, so you're 7 of six, and others on track on the 198, this one through Milo, Garrick, Geeky. That's Shuffle, Hill back and from the Sassy on the way past, here he is, second turn.
Enough is enough when you
Walking advantage to the final stage.
Enough is enough when they saw all you had to give and they tried to take you out. I will never let me
It's Molly Watson and Corbin the very side. Beautiful activation until the one from right off the wall. If we go up in the front of 1-5.
Enough is enough when you fight for a life to live and they try to take you out. I will never let me
Eugene Giraffe getting in there, second corner. Towards Waltz. The teammate of Bosco as well. Keep it up behind her. Page got caught, Pulisic in 5. He's going to be Pritchard and Pulisic. And on the one here at around number 10 of the 2026 BMX National Series. And check out the Bristol Jets rider going to be born down that first straight. Rocco Jenkins for the race leader into the turn is going to be there. Hugh Hall. No, it's not, sorry. It is the 19th, Thomas Barnard. Barnard leads this one out. RTR in there in 3. That is going to be Freddie Walsh. With Rocco Jenkins working his way inside the top 2. Rocco Beer on the back of his jersey. He's working on the inside of Barnard into that final turn. It looks like he's going to make that one stick. Barnard back to about 4 now. Then his riders take advantage. It's going to be Bradley Grimm working his way to that 2 spot on the wire with Bishop in 3. Filling on 10th for BMX UK. Oh, it's getting busy into the turn. Oh, one rider off the track. Yusuf Almas Forden. He is making moves in that second turn. It was Harrison Parker that went over the corner. Next up on track, 15-16 Cruiser B final. That looks, oh, it got squirrely in the turn. That sounded like Jacob Warren. That just about managed to keep it upright in and out of that final corner. It is Lucas Smith and Matt McHugh leading the way down towards turn number 1. Niall Moss is in there as well. On the inside it's Moss, McHugh in that order. Looks like Lloyd Freeman's getting busy in the turn. Doing a bit of jump up S&M's horses up there in about 3 now. Being chased down by one of the LeBras brothers. That is Jack LeBras. Jack past LeBras in and out of that second turn we go. Tempo BMX in there as well. That's going to be James Morrison rounding out the top 6 spots. Oh, Murphy made in the turn. Fast LeBras goes Shingo's gone 4 to 3. McEwen to this, not Moss out front for the win. It looks like that could be Nicola Wheeler, MK Evolution leading this one out. With his coach Chizzy, she's in there in that 2 spot. She'll answer all of your school games questions whilst we're racing her bike around the track. Cameron Evans out of Cornwall, BMX in 3. Abby Hill in 4, James Gray in 5. On the cycling unions, Ornella McGovern, Miles on the inside into the final turn. Oh, the bows were flying. Miles picks up the 5. Gray back in 6 now, but it is Nicola Wheeler picking up the race win. 14 on the bike, James Moores leads it out from Andy Lockwood. Rider out of the northeast is Michael Parks on the 470 plate. Gunty proving up as well. Craig Platt on the 735 looking for a high level in that final turn, trying to make it big. Who's going to pick it up down the final straight? Platt's here and there in 4. And it is a rider out of the northeast, Michael Parks in 3.
Right across out in front, that looks like Porter in there into the move being made in the turn by the 465. That belongs to David Bishop out of Bournemouth. Moving himself up into that second place, so Little, Bishop, Porter, McFarlane, that is your 1, 2, 3 and 4.
55 plus cruiser Bruces in and out of track, Water and Schools, and it's Featherstone leading this one out. Keith Brown and in that 2 spot. It looks like Mick Hood in 3, David Knowles in 4, the 14 plate in 5 is going to be Jonathan Charlton out of BMX and Doncaster. Steve Houston here as well. It looks like we've got Paul Adams and Graham Davies on track, but down the final straight, Greg Featherstone, the Bob Collective's going to be a race winner.
Right, here we go, Cruiser A finals are underway. Steinmetz in the middle, shot out the Canada. We've lost one on the right hand side on straight number 1. Picking himself up, he's okay. In and out of the turn, it is Steinmetz leading it out, looking for the rider in there in 2. We've got Ollie Todd, Sammy Stack, Rory Smythe. Smythe it is in the 2, Arthur Mason in the 3. Move being made, Ollie Todd in there in 4. But Arlo Steinmetz, Burnham BMX Club, bringing it down to the line. Steinmetz taking the win. Last round of the National Series.
Just before we get into the 30-14 cruising. Second of our race final, switch the track here around number 10. Day 2 of Darling. Check out the DC Cycles riders on the inside. Benny Marco shot out the cannon into turn number 1. Big move around the outside. Sonny Nutty Crew leading it through. Hunter van der Malien's getting involved in the action down that second straight. Murph, Malien, Marco, 1, 2, 3. Arnold's in 4. Harding's in 5. Spence 6. Cotton 7. And that is looking like Cooper in 8. Last turn action. Oh! Here comes Hunter Malien. Makes his stick. Your new race leader, Hunter van der Malien. Gonna be a race winner. Adam Arnold came out of nowhere for 2.
Here's our draw 4th Moto for these young ladies. It's coming down to total points. Emily Grimm on the inside, but Ailey Watson moving away over to BMX Widow Photography into the turn. I've got a feeling she's going to wrap this one up today with this win as they go in and out of turn number 1. Katie McSweetie doing it for BMX Widow Photography. Maddie Dixon fluent in there as well. Battling away with Emily Grimm into the corner. Paige Cathcart coming from getting involved in Savage Racing. Having to deal with Lockie McFarlane as they go down that third straight, but there is no doubt who is going to take the win in this one. BMX Widow Photography, Ailey Watson to the line, taking the win. Grimm for 2, Dixon for 3. Next up, 15, 16-year-old cruisers. Oh, God, this is an absolutely stacked class. Let's have a look who's going to lead it into the turn. Lucas Steely, Hindley, McCrum. That is your 1, 2, 3. Alfie Sim in there in 5, making moves, looking for the 4. He's got to work his way past Jack Walford to get it done. Stevenson in there in 6, Richards in 7, Wood in 8. Here we go, down the straight. Lucas Steely's going to take the win. Seeley, Hindley, McCrum, Walford and Stin. The cruiser 17 for 29-year-old ladies. Look at the elbows flying already as they go down the straight. Josie McFall getting involved in it, being pushed to the inside, going round the turn. Anya, Mata and Alonso picking up the whole got heading down towards turn number 2. Hannah Drew in that second spot. Jester in 3, Izzy Hurry in 4. Charlotte Jackson rounding out the top 5. Josie in 6, Amy in 7, Trinity in 8. Sports 17 to 29, female cruiser. The win is going to Anya, Mata and Alonso. It's Drew, Hemstock, Hurry and Jackson.
17, 29-year-old. This final had it all yesterday, and we are looking at day number 2 now. Josh Gates has been shot out of the cannon, heading for turn number 1. DC Cycles got 2 riders occupied, 2 and 3. That's Fly, the Manzi getting involved. Where is Zach Green? He's in there at about 5 or 6 at the moment, chopping and changing positions. He's looking up, Blythe works his way into 2, Watson, 3, Manzi 4, and that is Palmer in 5. He's getting busy in turn 2, but Josh Cage has run away with this one, in and out of that final corner. Cage is going to pick it up through the final straight. Who's going to get to? Watson on the line, nicks it from Blythe. These things look.
30 plus female cruiser leading the day. Becca Gold getting out early doors, needs to one right there next to her. Roll Becky just working away into that 3rd position. Magic Manda on the inside. The whole shot award goes to Rebecca Gold of Absolute Bicycle Motocross, leading this one out, looking for another win. Joe Gray looking for a way through as well. Jose heads towards the second turn. Sorry, with Liam Eden to apologise. So Gold meets Rowan. 1, 2, 3, Mead and 4, Magic Manda in there in 5, Marsha in 6, Emily in 7, Nikki in 8, but Becca Gold taking another national win on the cruiser for Absolute Bicycle Motocross.
30 and 39-year-old cruisers up on the gate. 39-year-old cruisers on track. Livingston out of lane number 1. He's absolutely blowing towards that first corner. Who's there with him? It's got to be Jack Hudson. Livingston though leads this one through. Where's the Smiley Strike Club boys? That is Martin Smiley Brown in 3. Smith gets it all wrong, ends up at about 6 or 7 for Livingston. Brown's worked his way into 2. Abbas back there in 4, Hearns in 5. But John Livingston, can anyone catch him? Here comes Martin Smiley Brown, last turn action. Looking for a way round, drag racing down the final straight. Has he got enough grip in the tank? Livingston takes it. Brown, Hudson 2 and 3. 40 to 44. 40 to 44-year-old cruisers are on track. Where's Larry Nobles? He's on the outside, headed for turn number 1. It's going to be McAvoy leading it into the corner. Sorted race gear out front. Hotshot racing in there behind him with Dylan Dixon. That's your British champion. And more than 0-1 by Tom Stratton's in there at about 4. Jason Matteaton out of BRE Racing. Smart in there at about 5 or 6. Second turn action. McAvoy. He's run away with this final once again this year. In and out of that final turn. Sorted race gears fine. He's going to have a 1 on the front of his bike next year. McAvoy, Larry Nobles takes it. Dixon for 2. Tie on the line for 3. Straight on up to set up for 4. As he connects that top 3 finish.
Okie dokie, here we go. DJ Twig have got an absolute flyer on his home track in front of the home fans. Is this going to be the win he was after? But Trincar has stolen it away, taken that lead. Tugan on him like a stray dog on an abandoned kebab, heading towards turn number 2. Lebras in there in 3. Big Nice Stig. He might grit his teeth for the first time since 1978, going into that final turn. It's going to be Trinket to the line. 2 good, not quite good enough, but second is solid. Lebras 3, Big Nice 4. Old enough to know better, young enough to not care. The 50 to 54-year-old cruisers are waging war. Oh, Fuller hits the deck as Healy leads it into the turn. Check out Reedy and Kev Bacon. They're banging both in the first corner. Has O'Brien got enough left? For Reedy is bringing it to turn 2. Honky's in there in 4. Gaz Carver, what a palaver. Has had a move stuck on him in that second corner. That's Hassel working his way in. But can anyone catch Healy? Looking for 3 out of 3 so far this weekend. Healy for Pure Bikes, Reedy for Sorted, it's Kevin Baker for Crucial. 1, 2, 3, Gas Carver. What palaver. That's a bit of a palaver on the line, but he's up. Right, 55 plus Cruiser. Lewis said old enough to know better, young enough not to care. These guys don't give a monkeys either way as they head into turn number 1. Stuart Campbell, Astar Racing. John Bentley in there in 2. Double in the mix somewhere. That looks like Pure Bicycles. Chris Madron in there in 3. Drew in 4. Dave Lindsay in 5. Battling with Billy Stupple. Notman in there in 7. And David Wilcox in 8. As they head down towards the line, it's going to be Stuart Campbell, John Bentley. Joey 1 and 2, Chris Madron in 3. 2 riders down in the 7-year-old B final. One of them was Reggie Rice, and I think about that 3 or 4 spot at the moment, swapping and changing positions. He's going Rita leading them out. Bronte through in there as well. Alfred Baglin being chased down by the 267 plate of Isaac Book out of Bristol Jets. Ref in the Southwest Jersey. I spied Tim near in 4. That's going to be Patrick Dempsey. He's put down the stethoscope for the weekend and picked up his bike. He's looking to pick up a top 3 spot in this 7-year-old B final through the final straight. He's going to take it right the way down to the wall. Rider down, right at the wire. Alfie Baglin. These are the 8-year-olds, I think. Let's have a look. Yeah, we've got Nico Jocelyn Black in there, aka the Potato. He's slicing and dicing and gone in the air fryer at 200 degrees for 12 minutes. Coming through in 5. Oh, Reggie Rice. What sportsmanship. Well done, Reggie. Good lad. And we're going in and out of that turn, and it is Flick Bretnell doing it for Allen'sBMX.com Factory Supercross.
Now ready for takeoff.
And there in 1 where is Susie Wyatt. She's going through in 2. That is Veris Bouquet out of Manchester National Race Team in 3. The 937 that belongs to Freya Christian Birmingham BMX Club. And rounding out the top 5 is Lottie Arnold from TNT. Sky's in there in 6. 2 riders down on that first straight. But meanwhile in the 8-year-old, 9-year-old girls B final, Flint Brendel under pressure at the line. Oh! Transponders of truth, do your thing. Already covered. RPF did a full like 720 as he went down, but he's back up and on his bike. We're just going to make sure the Ferrari's okay. That looks like Augustus Bartolini. Doing it for Hayes Hawks out there in the 1 spot, going to 1 and 2 with Charlie Crossley out of Tiverton. Down that final straight, sees Yar in there as well. Alfie Fishwick rounds out the top 3. Rapid, Roman Birdfield in there for 4. Put your hands together for RPF, Flick. Right, the final for the 10-year-old boys. Ethan White and Dominic Stepanowski. 1 and 3 at the moment. Charlie Blakeburn in there as well. So for a B final, this one's pretty stacked. Ethan White in and out of that first turn, picking up the whole shot. There's no whole shot odds for the B finalists, unfortunately. Charlie Blakeburn working his way into 2. Dominic Stepanos. The fastest Romanian you'll ever meet. He's in there in 4. Just got the moves put on him by Alexander Gilbert. Is that Seth Perry in there as well? I think it is. As we go in and out of the final turn, it is looking like Ethan the Grey White. He's going to take the B final win. But Charlie Blakeburn had a right good go.
home soil. He's leading out this B final in the 11-year-olds. European champion Betty Wills in there behind him, doing it for pro side and the girls. Keeping him honest as they're bringing it towards the final turn. That looks like Seb Staines in there in 3. Smooth as you like round here. Another rider on his home turf. He's going to pick it up as they bring it down the final straight. Jesse Rose in there in 4, reactive racing in 5 with Mr. George Spencer.
The tumble in that semi, he's certainly looking to make up for it now. Out there in front and leading by some distance into turn number 2, Holly Richardson. Working away into that second spot, the 113, the brightly coloured April Wood out of Bournemouth BMX Club. Jamie put it in there in for Darcy Payne. Rounding out the 5, we've got Rachel Fitzgerald, Jessica Cox, India Bennett in there as well. It's going to be Monforte to the line from Richardson.
The Lanchard's on track in there in that 2 spot case. Watson, Wood, Archie 1 and 2, the 6 British, Freddie Ray Alling in there in 3, Lucas Towards in 4, Seth Hewitt in 5, Hugo Dacic in 6, and that looks like Rex Beasley in 7, in and out of that final corner, together down the final straights. Oh, it's getting all sorts of busy. Freddie Ray Alling makes his move, ends up sticking the Lanchard over on the grass. He'll recover and pick himself up this side.
Moving on. This is the 13-year-old girl, Farrah McCarran. Out in front, the 19 in there, including Lily, May, and Jules. I don't think we've got any Samia Hughes in this one, unfortunately. Got a feeling she's heading off to catch a boat or a plane, whichever one it is. But it's McCarran, Lily, May, Jules, the 1 and 2. Who's going to pick up the 3? It was Poppy McCurdy.
That 2 spot looking for a way down quick move. It was Saul took the riders down. Descender, Archie fell. That looks like Mr. Parsons as well. Is that Zach Parsons? Yes, it is. All hit the deck. Archie goes back on 6 feet. So the other gents, put your hands together for them.
All the time, we put all the Grand Vector, we're all good. Yeah, we're all good. Neil Waddington. And Neil Warlock, he's all the Neils in this one. Ian Milne in there as well. Patrick Graham. All going through. Matthew Knight, Craig Bryan. Dave Knowles, so we've got Dave Knowles in this one, I don't think we have. But it's been Waddington taking it to the line. So Warlock in there into Ian Milne and
Still before I was born. Vets on track, Matt Eaton heading towards that first corner, doing it for BRE Racing. That looks like a rider out over Team A. George Salmon out of Andover BMX Club. Big Nine Smith, riding down in turn number 1. Not quite sure who that was. Might have been the rider out of Jump Club. Jack Hatfield, let's hope that he's okay. The 182 in there as well. That is Ben Martin out of Preston Pirates. Headed towards that final corner. Big Nard Smith in there in 3. George Salmon in 2. But it is Matt Eaton, your race leader, picking up the vets. A B-final win across the line. Put your hands together for us.
14-year-old boys at the B-final minus Roland Ells. We hope he's fit and well soon. Sending him our best wishes as we go into turn number 1. Let's see who's going to pick up the whole shot. Looks like Charlie Wilcox out of Team Mind in there in 1. Marta Zadilo in there as well in 2. Picking up that 3 spot, I've got a feeling it's Ethan Brooks Martin. It is in that third position. Ralph Selby trying to get involved as well as they go in and out of the turn. Wilcox goes a kilo. Brooks Martin. 1, 2, 3. Max Bass in there in 4. But it's going to be Wilcox to the line for the B-final win.
15's B-final on track. Couple of ride. Oh, pile up for turn number 1. Thanks at the top of the corner. Brody Geddes, one of the fallen riders. Let's hope that them gents are all right. Nick Hamilton, Elvis Lawrence, Harry Bailey, Tom Westmore, 1, 2, 3, 4. It looks like we've got Zach Childs in there. That's Sam Woods picking himself up, gets the beer up as well. Nate Hamilton, Elvis Lawrence, Harry Bailey.
Right, let's have a look as they head down the hill. The 16-year-old final. Boom, Price, Dunkley, Shear, Cranage, Widdowson, Kirby, and the UNB into the turn we go. That is Sapporo's Racing. Eden Boone leading it down this second straight. UNB in there inside the top 4 right now, chasing down the rider out of Cotton, which is Eli Price. Cranage trying to get involved as well. Who's in there in 5? Alex Dunkley making moves as well as they go into the final corner. So it's going to be Eden Boone to the line, taking the win.
17, 18-year-old nobody was Lewis Cook leading it out. Going 1 and 2 with Malachi O'Reilly. Balance like to cover the 9-plate off. St. Collis. Out of Absolute, John O'Hamady. Repping the MK and Tinder colours. Heading in towards our final corner. Doing it for all of the single ladies out there. Get your resumes in to Jono as he brings it through that final straight for a top 4 spot with Zach Kitchen.
The B final, Megan Kirby, Alaya Ataleli, Amy Willett, Rebecca Gold, Jamie Elwood, Ella Lamb, Annie Wrong, and Nella McGarvey Miles. And it is the 9-plate that belongs to Megan Kirby. In and out return, Amy Willett in 2. Peckham's Alaya Ataleli in there in 3 with Amy Willett rounding out the 4. Becca Gold going through in 5, Elwood in 6, Meat in 7, and Nella McGarvey Miles in 8. Megan Kirby taking the win.
Well, that's the big pass Wilfred in there with that 2-spot, chasing down to 0 at 2-0. Theodore Peetsky doing it for Aperture BMX. Will's teammate, Josh Barsby in there. Got the weight of the world on his shoulders. We're in Shaughnessy and Susie, but it's going to be Will in this that 2-spot. Team Brown in 3.
Well, 6 and under young ladies. These girls have been absolutely awesome all year long. And when you look up awesome in the 6 and under girls class, we are looking at Sophie Thorpe out of Derby BMX Club on the home track in front of the home fans. Mia Dix is in there as well, who pulled off the unofficial Maxis move of the day in her semi-final right here in front of us at commentary. Grace Snell's in there for Fluent Larissa for Rose. For the Hawks, Patty Gibson, Ada Powell, Elliot Bartlett. It is the 701 that belongs to Ada Powell. She's in there in 2. Kaya's going through in 3. Miss Grace Snell in there in 4. Aria Bartlett rounding out the 5. But no doubt who is out in front in this one, bringing it down towards the finish line. It is going to be Sophie Thorpe of Derby BMX Club, and the Derby Maxi are going to cheer their riders on. Big finish there between Kaya and Grace Snell. Fernando's are bringing the thunder down that first straight, heading towards the third. Let's have a look. Ellis Dowsing on the inside. I think he's in there in 2 right now. I've got a feeling it's final. Kevin is going to pick up the whole shot. In and out we go. Where is Diego Pujada? He's in there in about 3rd or 4th, I think, at the moment. 4th at the moment for the Irish rider. But Gehring out front, looking good. Joe Garrett in there in 3. Ellie Dowsing in 2. Diego in 4. Edward in 5. Milo in 6. Ronnie in 7. Ellis in 8. But it's going to be Milo Gehring to the line, taking the win. Ellis couldn't quite get near in. Joe and Diego rounded out the 4.
One of these 8 little ladies is going to walk away with a goodie bag courtesy of Derby BMX in a few seconds time as you head towards that first corner. Peony Ford's on the inside, but check out Noah Kerr. She wants his goodie bag. In she goes to the turn, she picks it up over the whole shot line. Peony Ford, your British champion in there in 2. Gibson's in there in 3. It looks like Alice Laurie's battling it out with her in 4. Looking to go round the outside. Peony Ford's not done yet either. Oh, gets it a little bit wrong into the turn. Kerr looks on the inside, wasn't quite close enough. Ford, Kerr, Gibson, Laurie. Here comes Gibson round the outside of Kerr into the final corner. Peony Ford has run away with it, your British champion out of Braintree BMX. Gibson gets it a big run, the pressure puts from Kerr in the line. Oh, that one was close. 7-year-old boy. 7-year-old boys are a go. Here is McAllister, it's on the inside. It looks like Barron's had a mark. Barron explodes through the rollers on the first straight. Ends up on the deck of the heat. Straight back up to his feet though. He wants to get back in the action. But out on track. Who's leading it out? We've got a big old scrap on our hands. Jack Baird, your British champion, leads it through. That looks like Mitchell Moore in 2. And Maury Bamford Burns in 3. And the fourth place return of the match. Ruben McAllister looking to track down a podium spot. Last turn action to go in. And back out is Burn. Out front has Mitchell Moore got enough left in the tank to pick him off down the final straight. Burns pushing hard. Burn, Mitchell Moore, Bamford, Burn, McAllister. 1, 2, 3 and 4.
Alright, the rules top prize for this one is a BMX bounty voucher. You can collect that from the Derby Club Tuck Shop by the first straight as soon as you finish racing. It looks like Sophia Easy's another rider who's picking up this BMX bounty voucher as her whole shot prize. She's in there in 1, chasing it down. I've got a feeling that might be Erin Doney in there in 2. Out of Jez Builders BMX. It certainly is. TNT's Ada Warner's in there in 3. The 574 is Ada Porter in 4. Elsie McAvoy in 5. Elsie Hopkins in there in 6. But there is no stopping it. Sophia Reed as she heads down the straight. But I tell you what, Erin Doney's having a good go. Erin's going to get this 2. Ada for the 3. 8-year-old boy. 8-year-old boys, this is going to be an absolute banger of a final, and it's Ruben Larry's turned on the turbochargers. Early doors, Charlie Bromelo's in there as well as Sandy Downs. That's going to be your 1, 2, 3 into the turn, but it looks like Ruben Larry's already extending his lead. Merseyside BMX Club absolutely unstoppable here in Derby. Shelby Ace is there in 4, Tomlinson in 5, Slater in there in 6, Jamira in 7, Alexander French in 8. As they round the final turn, it is going to be Ruben Lamb, Merseyside BMX taking the 8-year-old boys win. Bromelo for the 2, Sandy Downs rounding on the 3. 9-year-old girl. 9-year-old girls hit the track in final number 45, Mabel Pines in this one, your British champion. A couple of European finalists to go with her, heading towards the first turn. All the Jewish on the inside, but it's going to be Tilly Hewitt, Pro Stop BMX. In and out of that first corner, your European number 8 leads it out. Weezy E7, she's in there with about 3 of them, and that's Maggie Devine out of Team Mabo UK. That looks like all the Jewish then, splitting up the 2 European finalists from earlier in the year. Your British champion getting involved, that's Mabel Pines in there in 4. That's got to be more in there in 5. Abigail Henning in 6. Henry in 7 and Malloy in 8. Last turn action. Hewitt leads it. Here comes Devon looking for a way into a top 2 spot. Last straight drag race. Hewitt looking like she's wrapped up this win. Jewish Devine to the line for 2 and 3. Mabel Pine rounds out the top 4. There's a BMX bounty voucher up for grabs. There's a whole shot prize in this final. And we are looking at Teddy Gorman, who's the favourite to pick it up as it stands. Into turn number 1. It's Teddy Gorman. Make sure you head over to the tuck shop after racing me. You pick yourself up a BMX bounty voucher. But Eagles and Kiri wants to win as well. Who's there with him in the 2 spot? It's for 767. And Oliver Pritchard being chased out by GD33. That is of course Jerry Clayton. Oscar Rava Fast is in there in 4. Logan Acito in 5. Page in 6. Grab 7. Walsgrove in 8. But Teddy Gorman absolutely flying. Look at that for a final lap, ladies and gents. As smooth as you like. Takes it over the line. Pritchard, Clayton round out the podium spots. Oh, 10-year-old girls, look at these young ladies go. That is Ella Grant and Emika Gibson, elbow to elbow, heading for turn number 1 and absolutely flying. Emika in the first, Ella going through into Altamore in there in 3. Amelia Brain doing it for BMX, trying to get involved as well. And there is Penelope Castrola in the Irish jersey. Fluent in there in 5 is Lauren Snell. Oh, absolute bicycle motocross and stolen the lead on the 3rd straight. Ella Grant's about to pass her teammate to take the win. Unless Altamore's got anything to say about it. Grant, Moore, Gibson. 1, 2, 3, Snell in 4. Right, here we go, these are the tail. And Tekparev got squeezed like a bag of oranges going down that 1st straight. Henry Sullivan's into the turn. Vitold as well. Sullivan picking up the whole shot award and the skate park voucher. Might want to give it to Alex Vitold. He's the only one close enough to use it. He's in there in that 2 spot. The 14 in there in 3. He's got Vitold. Oh! Complete carnage. Antek Peregni went down, got collected by Callum Rhodes. Literally whips his legs from under him. Henry Sullivan takes the win. Vitol's in 2, Thorn in 3. Final 49 is ago, your 11-year-old girl. Bishop's had a great start, but Tomlinson had a lane number 1. Looking to pick it up into the 1st quarter. Tomlinson leads it out. Bishop on the inside. Makes it stick. Essence of accelerating that 1st quarter. Bishop, Tomlinson, that's the 1 and 2. Arabella Denton's in nearly 3. That looks like Spicer in 4. It looks like an Astor Racing rider in 5. That's Rosie Geddes, but they are queuing up behind her. Rocket Shipley on a Friday evening, heading into the final turn. Tomlinson looked on the inside, wasn't quite close enough, so it's going to be Bishop, Tomlinson, Denton. That's going to be your podium positions. They're in the sponsor for 4. 11-year-old boys on the... Whole shoulder for the 11-year-olds in the steel and Spice t-shirt, and check them all out, scrapping it out for him. Hayden Baptiste on the inside looking like he's going to pick it up around the outside. Check out Arthur Donaldson making it stick. He's going to pick himself up a steel and Spice team. Who's there with him in is Hayden Baptiste. Tom Giles in 3. It looks like we've got the 3 in 4. That's Jack Belton in and out of turn number 2. Belton wants to pick it up for a podium spot. He was looking for it yesterday, didn't quite make it happen after a crash in turn 2. But it's Donaldson, Baptiste, here comes Belton down to the line. Can he nick it off of Giles? Giles hangs on to the top 3. So here goes. Oh, second round on the line for the 12-year-old girls. The bunny fight. Voucher could come in very handy when you're looking for parts as they're heading towards turn number 1. Grace Hudak, is she going to get it? No, she isn't, because Trixie Trade is going to steal it away. She picks up the whole shot award. Grace will just settle for a win if she can work her way past. Here comes Amelia Rowe as well. That's Izzy Underhill in there in 4. Ellie Beats in 5 for the European. Number 8. Trixie Trade, a ball bicycle into the final turn. Out she comes, brings it down the final straight. Is she going to hold on? Hudak to the line? Yes, she is. Amelia Rowe. Bit of a finish with the Underhill. 12-year-old ball. Right, this one was between Finley Munro and Conor Hemphill yesterday. It came down to the last 10 feet of track, but Jacob Anderson's got something to say about it, because he's got himself right into the middle of the 2 combatants. These guys have been absolutely flying all weekend long. Anderson wants a bit more. He's trying to get on the back of Finn Munro. Hemphill in 3, Preston Newmarsh Pow in 4, Moore's in there in 5. But it looks like your European number 1 Finley, Monroe, Allen's BMX.com and Supercross to the line. Monroe takes it. Anderson, 4-2, Connor Hemphill 3. Final number 53, here's the track. Freya Harris out of lane number 1, looking to pick it up as they bring it towards turn number 1. 2 riders airborne over the rollers, and it's going to be Harris into that first corner. ELP's right there behind her, so it's Harris, ELP, Hyder, 1, 2, 3, who's picking up the 4? It looks like that could be Sarah Pritchard doing the football collective, but Freya Harris, look at her go in the Moto 1 and Muck-Off colours as she brings it towards the final turn. Has Hyder got enough left to take as she tracks ELP out of the final turn? Harris, Hyder, ELP, that's going to be a 1, 2, 3 across the line. It's close for the 4, looks like Gerard might have just nicked it. 13-year-old boys, go. Where's Leo Rowlands? He's on the outside, headed for that first corner. But Bibby, out of lane number 1, looking to pick it up into the turn. Up on the inside, makes his thing. Oh! The 2 Melo boys hit the deck. Rowlands in there in 3. Jason Rook in there in 2. Bibby's out front. Mullins picked up a 4 spot. Payne's in there in 5. Last turn action. Looks not done yet. Looks to tee it up, but Bibby carves the corner superbly. Looking to hang on down the final straight. Bibby, Rook, Rowlands 1, 2 and 3. Jack Devine, Archie Coker, White, Leighton Harding, all 3 chaps to pick themselves up off at the floor. Don't sweat, it's time for the grand deck. Let's have a look. Oh, Hilly and Oggy getting very, very close together going down that first straight. And Fitzroy Price is having some of it as well. Stu Little on the inside. But Hilly picking up his now familiar hole shot. Martin Ogden chasing him down though. RCR racing into the second turn. Has Oggy got any of those old school wiles left to try and steal it away? Matt Hayward in 3. Stu Little in 4, 95 Price coming to a halt in 7. But it looks like Hilly's going to take it to the line. Hilly, Oggy, Hayward, Little, nice, your top 5. That's up on the gate. We've got Beds on track, Marvel's on the inside, but Livingston has an absolute blinder, heading for that first corner. It looks like he's going to hold shot. Who's there with him? It's Boo Boo. Yesterday's 1 and 2, going to 1 and 2 at the moment. Moore is in there in 3. Who's picking up all that? Looks like Boudet, with Reese in there in about 5, heading in towards the second turn. Has Boo Boo Beaumont on the 96 podcast got enough left for Livingston into the final corner. John Livingston, it's getting busy. Boudet and Morse looked on the inside of Beaumont, but he went right around the outside of the pair of them. Morse for 3, Boudet 4. Masters. Masters, go. It's looking like a cracking start from Connor Woodson, headed for the first corner. Who's there with it? Billy Lucas on the outside. And there's a left shoulder. Todd Palmer, throw! Chaos in the first corner. Palmer threw it under, couldn't quite make his stick. Connor Hudson has gone. Who's in there in 2? Matt Bourne picks it up. It's in 3. Palmer's 4. Bowie's in there in 5. Higgly's in 6. O'Connor, Sean Easton had essence of the Brits a few years ago, threw it under in the final turn, headed on back and forth. Woo-wah. These lads shake hands at the end of the lap. I can't wait for Sean Easton to discuss that last turn on the Late Brigade podcast. That'll be fun. Right, let's have a look as they head down the straight. We have got the 2 girls from South BMX, Anushka Jones and Ava Zerzek right next to each other. but it looks like we've got Scottish riders heading for the whole shot. But no, it's Esme Ward and Ruby Warren battling away. That looks like Holly Diver in there in 3. Ruby Warren gets past and works away into that lead position to Esme Ward. And Stay Strong has got to try and steal it back down the final straight. Back BMX in 5, that's going to be Lily Yardley. But it is Ruby Warren, Pure Bicycles taking the win. Esme Ward in 2, Holly Diver in 3, and the 7 of Anissa Jones in 4. Big finally for the 13-year-old. James Miller, Freddie Parkinson heading for the turn. Jackson on the inside for Sorted Race Gear. Working his way into 3. But it's crucial BMX out front at the moment. James Miller got the wall on his plate for a reason. Freddie in there in 2. McNulty's worked his way into 3. Jackson still holding on for that top 4 position. Charlie Bob Craig in there in 6. Oh! Elbows flying in the final corner. Miller looking like he's going to hold on to it. Ready for 2. Wow. Couldn't make it stick. McNulty for the 3. 15-year-old girls hit the track. Emily Eaton out of lane number 6, headed for the first corner. Who's there with her? It looks like Rick Giannino is glued to a back wheel as they bring it into the 10. Look at that, in and out of the first corner for your pro star BMX rider. It is the E8 of Emily Eaton. Giannino's in 2. That looks like Sidoni Cleveland there in 3. Bringing it into the second corner. That's the 8 plate of Moore in there in 4. Who's picking up the 5? That's the one who picks it off. Ring Giannino, Bunting, Eaton like she's prey. As they bring it in and out of the final turn and drag racing through the final straight. Eaton, Giannino, Cleve, 1, 2 and 3. Long applause for Final and on the 61, heading down the hill, Guppy and Rayford, training pose, heading for the 10, Rayford leads it, who's in there with him, he's getting busy, so Rayford, 2 riders down, Rayford, Lynch, where's Guppy, back in the up, looking for a way round Osborne, into turn number 2, Barney's in 5, Hindley's in 6, Toby Rayford though, out front looking good, I think this might just hand him the title, so stay strong, you will never find he's going to pick it up to the line. Toby Rayford, Toby Lynch, Pete Osborne rounds out the podium spots. 16 girls on track, 2 riders out of BMX with a photography, going out into the inside, heading for the first corner. Watson looking to make his stick, but Brown leads it in and out of the first corner. Lottie can't stop, won't stop Brown. Hayley Watson in there in 2, Grace Burge in 3, Atana Price in 4, but Lottie Brown, last year's national champion, absolute bicycle motocross, has left the pack as she brings it into the final turn. She's going to take it through the final straight. Here comes the pressure on Watson for the 2. Burge is going to take the 3. Watson hangs onto that 2 spot. Price in 4.
I'm old school like a keg of cheese.
16 boys, go 2 racing riders in this one. Seeley's on the inside, pretty sure Israel took the title. Look at Franklin, all the way from lane A round the outside. Bradley James tried to make his stick, put a keeping rubber side down. Seeley leads it, who's in there with a nice head whistle. Here comes Jamil around the outside. 2 racing boys into the top 3. Franklin's in there in 4, James is in 5. Last in action, Jamil was winding it up. Lucas Seeley leads it. Here comes the whistle, down to the wire. Round racing for 1 and 2. Wow.
17 to 18-year-old lady Sabina Ashford with an absolute bullet gate headed for that first corner. Here comes Elwood though. It's battles. Oh! Explosions on the first straight. Elwood hit the deck. Brooke ended up exiting stage on the right hand side, but Amelia Evelyn, she leads it out. Yesterday's winner, Evelyn Ashman, who's picking up the 3. That looks like the 16X of Imogen Cockrell. She's being chased down by Sophie Carniston. LVG NRT, last straight action. Amelia Evelyn, 2 for 2 on her home track. Mavo Factory Team UK. Put your hands together for Sophie Elwood, ladies and gents. Who went for a time. 17 to 18-year-olds already. Nathan Barata looks like he means business on the inside, but the absolute boys are getting busy banging bows. Who's going to lead it into the turn? It looks like here's our front. Wayne's Guppy's back there with about 4 or 5. Swapping and changing positions as Jake Hall gets busy through the second straight. Oh, Townsend hits the deck. Here, Smith, Guppy, Hall. 1, 2, 3, 4, Dorans in there in 5. Last third action. Kennedy will catch Henry here. I don't think they can. Absolute go 1 and 3. Collaboration in 2 with Eli Smith. Right, next to 19. Girls are go 19 to 29. Who's gonna get the whole shot? It looks like Emily Green is gonna head into that turn first. Yes, it is, but look who's right there behind her. I've got a feeling it's Annabelle Townsend working her way up the inside and trying to get across the elbows and touching. Oh! Both of them have gone. That leaves Megan Gerard out in front. Lucy Monday in there in 2. Pro Star going through in 3. All the action on that second straight. Bringing it to the line. Over 1X. That belongs to Megan Gerard. Taking the win. Let's hope Emily and Annabelle are all right. The 19 to 29-year-old Open is going. It's going to be an absolute flyer. And the man flying faster than anybody else is Tyrese Bradshaw. Keeping up the whole shot. But look who's right there on the back wheel. Callum Strickland from Station. And if there's somebody you don't want behind you in the final, it's Cal. Daniel King, Shingo, Labin Akalini. All going down. Meanwhile, Tyrese Bradshaw is going to hold it to the line. Tyrese for the win. Cal Strickland in there in 2. The 7 of Joshua Cates in 3. Meanwhile, Dan Kay and Shea Young are breakdancing in the second turn. This class has been tasty all season long. It looks like Bowman's had a great start out of the inside, but now Everly is right there glued to him into the turn. Larkins on the outside. Everly threads the needle, works his way to that 2-spot. Bowen, Everly, action 1 and 2. Weary spin finishes up to about 3. Short Brown's working his way into 4. Everly's not done yet though. Empty Bowen down like Gray. Third straight action. Here he comes. Phillips, Brown, Larkins, Thomas in and out of the final corner. Here we go. Drag race into the line. Bowen's gonna take it. Heavily for 2. Finn Phillips rounds out the top 3. The Superclass are going fast. Criddle's got himself out for early goals. Russell Cornish and Hunter in there as well. Expect some fireworks in turn number 1. In and out we go. Criddle, he's like we've gone back 5 years. He's got the BMX winner photography jersey on. In and out of the second turn. There's only Ben Cornish and Georgia close enough to make a difference. Criddle still holding on. Cornish isn't done. Jimmy Criddle to the line. 2 from 2. Cornish and Hunt. 2 and 3.
Right, it all comes down to total points and who's going to get it. But I have a sneaking suspicion that it's already in the back. The Freya Challenge picking up the whole shot. Absolute bicycle motocross, the middle continental team. Your junior women world champion. Slicing and dicing the competition like a Slayer should. In and out the final turn. Freya's gonna get it. Annalise Captain Carpenter in 2. That looks like Freya getting in 3. Maggie for the 4. Lorianne for the 5. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up your Lloyd's BMX National Series for 2026. We have one more huge race to go. The British Championship, August Bank Holiday Weekend, Blackfields, the Field of Dreams in Manchester. Be there or be a square, four-sided object. Wherever you're heading, have a safe journey home. We will see you in Manchester.